There's no X-Men books that I want to buy this month, so I don't have a clue what I'm supposed to put in the thumbnail to clickbait people into watching this. Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. It seems like this is going to be a quieter month than what I've had previously, and there's only 2 books that I want on the week of April 7th. First up, I've got the Defenders Omnibus Volume 1. I haven't really got a specific preference to which cover I want, but this is the classic first lineup of this team, and I'm hoping that we get some later runs where it's more of the street level rosters. But this seems to be a skinnier omnibus, more in line with the Dan Slott Iron Man that recently came out, and I got that for about £45, so I'm hoping for a similar price for this one. But yes, I have seen what the spine looks like, and I don't get what Marvel were thinking on that one. The only other book that I'm sort of interested in that's coming out this week is the Spider-Girl Complete Collection Volume 3. I keep checking in on Volumes 1 and 2 for a while and I don't know whether to pick it up, but then that I've heard that Volume 3 is supposed to round out this series, I'm tempted to just buy all 3 of these and then just do a complete read through. It's 90s comics, it's Tom DeFalco, and it's also a Spider-Man character that I do want to learn more about. I'm also quite a big fan of complete collections. I love my omnibuses, but I also appreciate just having a thick trade paperback. So if I can get this for about £20, which is what I usually pay for a complete collection, alongside getting the other 2 complete collections for this series for a similar price, then yeah, I'm happy to bring this into my pull list. So if I was to get the 2 books that I wanted for this week for the price that I'd be happy to pay for them, I would be spending £65. Which I can't lie, I'm happy to because of the fact that this is the only week that's not in triple digits. April 14th starts off with another complete collection because I've got the Incredible Hercules Volume 2. I picked up Volume 1 when Amazon Germany had a mega sale in 2019 and I was really looking forward to reading this series. But I didn't know if Marvel was going to put this in the same bracket as something like Invincible Iron Man by Matt Fraction, because you all know by now my feelings on that book, and I thought maybe they just weren't going to continue with this run. I'm really happy to see that this is actually coming out and I really want to get this in my collection. This might actually get a priority for me because of the fact that I don't really know if they're going to print many copies of this, but at the same time I just said that I'm happy to pay about £20 for complete collections, and I think that that's a reasonable price for this one. One that I didn't think would get released this early, but it's Blade of the Immortal Deluxe Edition Volume 3. I could have sworn that Volume 2 only came out last month, so I don't know why they've got a fast track on these. I'm not complaining too much because I do want to read this series once they've all been published. Who knows, but either way I'm happy to pay about £28, which is what I usually pay for some of these Dark Horse Deluxe editions, and this is a series that I do really want to get into. Next book on the list is a bit of a blind buy, but I said in an earlier episode that I'm interested in this series, so I'm going to include it here, but it's the Complete Witchblade Volume 2. I'm comfortable enough to pick this up in softcover because of the fact that I've heard that the hardcovers aren't actually oversized. These are very well priced, so I believe that Volume 1's only about £20, and I'm happy to pay about a similar amount for this one here. But I just don't get Image's logic of bringing out the hardcover at the exact same time as the paperback. I don't really know what the pragmatic decision behind that is. The last 2 books for this week are ones that I'm both eagerly looking forward to and also a little bit pissed off about. It's the reprint of the Criminal Deluxe Editions Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now to show you why I'm pissed off about this one, I'm going to have to move my Power Rangers. That's how committed I am to this video. Go Zeo. So I have the original printings of Volume 1 and Volume 2. I absolutely love these books, but I'm never going to be able to sell this one. But the reason why this is never going to leave me collection is because of the fact that it's signed and sketched in by Sean Phillips. Yeah, I got this back in 2010, I ordered it from his web shop, and he also sent me like a nice little note in it. This is my favourite book in my collection. Actually, there might be 1 or 2 others that take that title, but because of the fact that Volume 3's got a completely different spine design, and I know that Volumes 1 and Volume 2 are going to line up with that one, I'm going to have to buy those ones as well. This is one of my favourite series. I even did a video talking about how you can collect Criminal because I want as many people to read this series as possible, but still it's rocking a hard place because I can't sell my original editions, but I can't afford to not get these new ones, so I'm happy to pick these up for about £30 each because that was the price that I paid for Volume 3. I get the feeling though that even though these aren't going to make it into my top 5 list of books that I want at the end of this video, I am still going to have to buy these pretty much as soon as I can see them because of the fact that I don't think that they're going to stick around long. With that being said, if I was to buy every book that I wanted this week for the price that I'd be happy to pay for it, I'm paying a staggering £128. And the only reason I'm saying staggering is because of the fact that we've probably got a counter going on at the minute, but also because of the fact that I haven't got any omnibuses and I don't think I've got any book that's over £30 this week. April 21st is a whammy boy of a week, but once again we're starting it off with a complete collection because I want the Deadpool by Joe Kelly Volume 2. I picked up Volume 1 pretty much when it got released because a dude sold it to me for about £10 when I was buying some other books off him, and I was like, well, how can I pass that up? I hope they finish out this run. Deadpool's a character that I feel like maybe I give a bit of a hard time to because of the fact that he just appeared in everything at one point. He was a little bit oversaturated, I was getting a bit irritated with him, but I'm happy to go back and read some of these classic runs, and I've heard that the Joe Kelly is one of the best. But again, complete collection collection rule, if I can get this for about £20, it's going to make it into my list. Next up is the first of 3 omnibuses because it's Spider-Man by Roger Stern. I regret missing out on this when it was originally coming out because it did seem like it was in print for quite a while. There was just other books that I wanted to buy. I didn't have as much money for the hobby as I probably do now, and I haven't really read any issues of this, but I have since then. I've read The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man and the Juggernaut story, and I'm just excited to read more of this run. It just seems like classic Spider-Man storytelling, and I know that I haven't shown too much love for some of the Silver Age stuff, but I am happy to go back and read up because I feel like it's a part of integral history. The Hobgoblin stuff seems pretty cool, and I'm happy to get either of these covers, but if I can get it for about £60, then I'm going to pick it up. Second omnibus for this week, I've got Thunderbolts Volume 1. I'm really hyped for this one. I've read some of the later Thunderbolts stuff during the Dark Reign era, but I've never actually had that chance to go back and read some of the early stuff. I do unfortunately already know about the twist in this, but I don't think it's going to hold up my enjoyment for this title. This was one of my most anticipated omnibuses. I'm actually more happy with the standard edition cover than the DM variant, and if I can get this for about £60, then there's no way that I'm missing out on this one. And the last omnibus for this week was probably more anticipated than the Thunderbolts one that just came before it, but of course, it's the Flashpoint 10th Anniversary Omnibus. I'm starting to sound like a broken record with how much I say that the New 52 is my jam and that Flashpoint was the first event that I ever read in single issues. But it was, and it's such an integral part to my comic book reading journey that I know that I have to pick this up. Yeah, I'm hyped that a Flash by Jeff Johns Volume 3 is being announced, and even though that does include Flashpoint issues 1 to 5, I'm still going to get this event omnibus. It does make me a bit of a hypocrite because I did pass up on the Blackest Night omnibus because I had the 3 Green Lantern volumes, but Flashpoint means something different to me, and even though I'm hoping that I can get for that books etc 50% off, I'd still be happy to pay a little bit over that, and if I can get this for £70, this is definitely making it onto my pull list, and it's one of my highly anticipated releases. Another one, and put this into the wishful thinking category because I've got the Usagi Yojimbo Limited Edition Volume 9. I admit I was one of the very fortunate people who managed to get their hands on a copy of Volume 1, but now that I know that I'm getting that Volume 1, I know that I'm going to have to try and pick up the other ones. This is going to be one of those things that I know it'll take years, if ever, that I manage to complete this collection, but part of the fun of this hobby is the collecting, is the hunting, and trying to find certain volumes of books. But at the same time, I'm also happy to make it easy on myself, and when a book comes out, try and get it then and there. It's definitely making it into this category. I think I've seen these go for about £45 when they're initially released, if you can just get them at that point then and there. So that's how much I'm going to put it on for this week's budget. Now the last book for this week is something that goes against the very principle of the person that I am. For months, nearly a year now, I've told you guys that I'm not a manga guy. What is that? Yeah, I've repeatedly told you guys that I'm not into manga, and there's been temptation, I can't lie. These Dark Horse Deluxe editions, I've been picking them up, but I haven't read any of them just yet. They make these beautiful box sets, but I still haven't been tempted. They even made Transformers into a manga, and I've still resisted that temptation. But when this book drops, that may have to come to an end because they are releasing Super Sentai Go Ranger for the first time it's ever been translated in English. It's also in a hardcover, and there is no way that I'm ever going to turn this down. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to betray the cause, and I hope that you understand that, this isn't a reflection on me, it's a reflection on the book itself. It's just one time and it's never gonna happen again. I got back into my Power Rangers and my Super Sentai hard. I'm currently watching Time Ranger. Yeah, I'm fucking loving it as well. And this is just monumental, and I don't know how popular of a book this will be. I don't think it's going to be very popular at all, if I'm being honest with you. But for me, I have to say, well done manga. You played your big guns and it won, because I need this book. And it seems like it's going to retail for about £15, because that's where I'm at with this. I'm happy to pay cover price. This makes me realise that I don't even know where I am anymore. With that being said, if I was to get all the books that I wanted for the price that I'd be happy to pay for them on April 21st, I would be spending a staggering amount of £270. The worst bit is, I'm saying I would be spending, but I know that I need all of those books on the day that they come out. Moving into the last week of April 28th, we've got another big title that's coming out, and it's the all-new Wolverine Omnibus. I pre-ordered the DM variant for this because I just love that cover. I think it's so beautiful. I read the first couple of issues of this when it was coming out in singles, but that was the time when I was going uni and I was transitioning out of buying comics week to week. I don't know about anybody else, but it seems like both Marvel and DC are making a more conscious effort to bring out more modern runs in Omnibus as soon as they can. But I think it's great because there's titles like this all-new Wolverine and Spider-Gwen that I dropped a few years ago that now I get a chance to go back to. So I've got this on the budget for about £55 because I think that's what my pre-order is. Next up, another unmissable volume, I've got the Immortal Hulk Volume 3. These are the oversized hardcovers. I got Volume 2 last month and I'm happy that Volume 4's already been announced. I've only read the first hardcover so far. I think this is a great run and I'm really looking forward to when this is finished and I can just read it all in one go. I think Al Ewing is genuinely doing something legendary, and I said this in my haul that I get the feeling feeling that this will get an omnibus and I'll probably double dip on it. But still, the previous 2 volumes I got for £20 and that's what I'm putting on for this one. The last omnibus for the month, and one that I feel like I should give a chance to, is The Untold Tales of Spider-Man. Again, Kubo-Seek, I genuinely feel like he's one of the most underrated writers in comics, alongside someone like, you know, Mark fucking Wade. Who knows, this might inspire me to go back and get some of those Silver Age volumes now that they seem to be getting reprinted. I can't say that I've ever read too much about this, so it is a little bit of a blind buy, but at the same time, if I can get this for around about £50, then it's something that I will bring into my future haul. Another deluxe edition now that I'm very excited to pick up, it's the JLA Tower of Babel. Anybody that watched my Missing the Issue about the JLA by Grant Morrison omnibus knows that this is one that you need to pick up. This plugs in so many gaps, and in all honesty, even though we do like our omnibuses to have as many issues as possible, I think that this might have actually been a more sensible way to go about it. That JLA omnibus is a very whamming boy, and if we're being honest with ourselves, it's likely that Tower of Babel wouldn't have been collected in it anyway because there might have been too many issues. And as well, if we're being honest, more people are likely to want to go back and just read the Tower of Babel part of this storyline, so having it on one hardcover does make more sense from a business point of view, because then they got to put Grant Morrison on the spine of that book, and also they get to sell Tower of Babel separately, which is something that most people would have probably just wanted on its own. If you had those 4 deluxe editions from years ago, you can now just pick up this one deluxe edition and then you've plugged those gaps as well. So I'm really happy that this is getting released, and I'm hoping that I can get it for about £20. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I'm trying to get this filmed as quickly as I can, but in the back of my head, I'm hoping that I sound like a member of Boyz II Men. Put that with the Usagi Yojimbo, because it's probably just wishful thinking. A book that I really hope doesn't fall onto my radar, but it's the second part of the Reckless story, A Friend of the Devil. I love Ed Brubaker, I love Sean Phillips, why on earth would I not pick this up? Shadowcat picked me up volume 1, and I've also got Pulp, which is in the same sized format from the same creative team, and knowing me, even if they did come out with an oversized hardcover collection of the 3 stories that there's going to be, I'll probably still pick that up as well. And I was thinking about this as well, and I'd like some opinions on it, but I might start doing smaller bite-sized reviews, because obviously Mad Dog Bite makes a bit of sense, of thinner books like the Reckless series and stuff like that, and then do bigger reviews of sort of long strand stories, kind of like what I did for the New 52 Batman and Robin. But I don't know, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on that. But I'm really hyped to continue on with Reckless. I'm happy that they've already announced that a 3rd book's coming along as well. If I can get this for about £15, that'll be okay for me. And the last book on my radar for this week, and also this month, is a bit of a blind buy. Hear me out though, because it's Hack Slash Deluxe Edition Volume 1. I know that this was initially a Kickstarter, but I didn't back it because I didn't hear about it until the Kickstarter had finished. But if I remember correctly, when I was doing my review in Nailbiter, there was a crossover between this. I didn't have a clue what that series was, and admittedly, I did have to skip some of those issues. But still, we're coming up to Image, so it makes sense that I would possibly consider getting this title. I don't really know what the cover price is. I've seen it varying in a few places. If I did see this for about £25 though, I'll get it. But with those books being in my sights, the grand total for the week of April 28th would be a staggering £185. But that's not all, because if I was to get every book that I wanted in the month of April, I would be spending a staggering £648. That's quite the grand total, and I can honestly say that I don't think I'm going to be spending that much already. I'm saving up to move house, and that's the reason why I do pull lists now. And I've said this before because it's easy enough to do, because sometimes you buy a book just because you see that it's in stock, but that might not have been the price that you actually wanted to pay for it. All of a sudden you do that for 2 or 3 books, or maybe even 10, and you could be spending an extra couple £100. This hobby shouldn't be dictating your life. I don't even want it dictating my life, and I've got a YouTube channel that I've based around it. That's also why I do my top 5 must-buys for the month. And in no particular order for April, they are the all-new Wolverine Omnibus, JLA Tower of Babel Deluxe Edition, the Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 1, of course the Flashpoint 10th Anniversary Omnibus, and in probably what will be words that will cause the death of this channel, a manga has made it into my top 5 most wanted. I know, I'm ashamed of myself as well, but how on earth can that Super Sentai Go Ranger collection not make it into this list? To tell you the truth, I think if I could only get 1 book this month, it would probably be this, over something like the Flashpoint Omnibus. But in all seriousness, April looks like it's set to be a great month for collected editions, but at the same time, a little bit of a quieter month as well. I hope there's some titles that you're all looking forward to. Let me know in the comment section below what you're planning on picking up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, why did you get this far? Subscribe if you're new here and click the bell notification so that you never miss a video. If you do want to support the channel, it is greatly appreciated. There's a tip jar in the description down below, and there's also Amazon affiliate links. Why not check out one of my other videos? But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe, stay reading the best books that you can find, and stay mad. Oh, take 2. Why not check out one of my other videos? But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe, stay reading the best books that you can find, and stay mad, all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.